Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm here with Karen LaPuma, who is one of my dear friends and a priestess of Mary Magdalene with me, and has joined over the years with doing lots of beautiful ceremonies where we celebrate the divine feminine. And we have a beautiful event coming up on Tuesday, January 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the reason why it's on Tuesday, the 31st, is an annual event that we do is because that's the eve of St. Bridget's feast day. And St. Bridget is the patron saint of the midwives. And she's the patron saint of the babies, and she's the patron saint of the knights. And it was a day that on the eve of her feast day, all the women would come and gather, and they would make these corn dolls. And then the men would come by, the women who had corn dolls on their house, and they would come and pay their respects. It was for them to show respect to the divine feminine. And so it's like very fitting. Plus, it's going into honoring the birth. And since she's the patron saint of midwife, it's midwifing. And we're raising up the divine feminine, because in order to have what we call the new earth, which Karen and her partner Darren are totally devoted to as healers and astrologers, in raising the awareness of the new earth and what it's going to take to step into the dimension of 5D. It is a wonderful demonstration that they both are living. And I ask Karen every time we do these events, because it's amazing to me how the astrology of the day is so fitting. But I wanted, before I have her talk about the astrology for the actual day itself and explain it, I wanted to just kind of put a little bit more context to you. So I did a search on the internet, and I'm going to share with you my screen here to let you know.
Good.
This is a temple. This is the temple to the goddess Diana. And when you walk into these pillars and you go into them, you're going to see these beautiful 9-10 foot tall statues of Artemis and Diana and all of the beautiful goddesses. And this, if you could imagine yourself being a little girl holding your mother's hand and she's saying, let's go to the temple of Diana and worship and honor the divine feminine. And each of these goddesses had aspects to them that were qualities that we should be stepping into and claiming for ourselves and developing in ourselves. So you were inspired to be a better person, because, and then it was done in this spectacular way up on a hillside, up in the top of a mountain. Everything to any goddess figure is usually up and elevated, just because it gives you the sense of honoring. And then what happened was we had the shutdown of the temples, we had the destruction of the temples, and now the temple is left in ruins. Then we had, following that, was the witch burning, and the witch burning really shut us up. So it inhibited us and allowed us. It was really funny because when I woke up in a meditation one morning, I was sitting there asking Spirit for guidance. What would you want me to know? And I go to Marianne Williamson's website. So I went to Marianne's website, and what should come up but an image of her conference that she was doing, which was called the Sister Giant Conference. And so I took my daughter, we flew down there, and the first night there were 500 women from all over the United States that came. And the first night she did a talk on witch burning. She says, we need to talk about what happened, because witch burning shut us up. And she said, women are 51% of the population, and we have 17,000 children a day dying of starvation in this country to this day still. And there's no woman that's okay with this. But where is the female voice? Where is the unified voice? Because if our voice was raised up and we were unified, the divine feminine the Divine Mother, we feed the babies. There's no starving children in that world. And we would join together, and that would be the end of starving children. Because we do know how to make it stop. And it's just that we don't have the political will, and we're not putting the funding and the support to making it stop. So I think it's really important to understand. And of course, when you look at the temple is a symbol. The columns are open. You can walk in from any direction. You can come up from any side. There's no barricades, or it's a center for learning, for worshiping, for everything that's beautiful and amazing, right? That you go in. So now I'm going to take us over to Karen. You want to say a little bit about this day and what you found, and then I'll put the chart up so that you can explain it. You're muted. Sorry. You're muted.
Sorry. First of all, the time we do something is like a birth of an event. So this is a ritual, which is an enactment of this birth. So this particular day is significant because it's an Aquarius, which is the group endeavor, and it has to do with, problem solving, making better, improving, being the better person. And it has there's a real strong connection to spiritual destiny and healing. And the most important thing that I'm not looking at the chart, I'm just going by what I remember, is that we have Venus in the relationship house. And Venus is, as this question as a group, is love and creativity and magnetism. So the more we come together, and these events, I'm really grateful for you, Christy, because we were initiated together and she got the download, and this was her destiny. And she's been, the mother of these events and synthesizer, and they're always wonderful. They bring out emotions, and so I love them, and I'm so grateful that you're doing this continually. And so this particular moment, there's a synchronicity in the time, and this one is about healing and making better. And so let's look at the chart, and then I'll give you some details of that.
Let me go here. I'm trying to find the chart. I just had it up here a second ago, right?
Now that we're on Zoom, we can be anywhere. And I really suggest that. I remember sitting in my bedroom with the Zoom on and going into these deep spaces and feeling the bhakti and the heart opening and the connection, and you're just communing with like-minded others. So I invite you to join us and to be part of this. And there's a movement, not only the divine feminine, but the new earth. So the divine feminine has to do with opening your heart and loving and allowing, and the goddess resists nothing. So it's a way to infuse that energy into you by tuning in and having fun. It's a party.
Yeah. So here we go. And let me just make it a little bit bigger.
So the reason, I don't know if you want an astrology lesson, but we have a lot of Virgo, because Virgo's the rising, and the house of Virgo is the sun and the Saturn. So Virgo is problem solving. It's the hermit in the tarot card, the way shower, the one that has the inner light. So there's that improving and grounding, and the moon is in Gemini. So there's two air signs, and air signs like to communicate and connect, and so we have a lot of mental energy here, and Mars is trining the sun, so that's initiating, energizing, starting things. So we hope to instigate you into getting more of the sacred feminine within us and within you. So we have Moon in Gemini, and it squares Neptune. And so Neptune in the position of the 7th house, which is on a clock, it would be a 3 o'clock position. 2:30 actually. But anyway, the Neptune moon this is about moving, going higher in consciousness. It's spirituality, it's creativity. And it's that bhakti I was talking about. And this is a square could be challenging, but it also very energizing, activating. And that card at the 12 o'clock position, that symbol looks like an H kind of stretched out. That's Sedna, which is the higher. It goes Moon, Ceres, Sedna. And this is spiritual destiny. Sedna's the farthest out there. And she's telling us that the purpose is birthing the feminine within us is our spiritual destiny. So that's a very auspicious place. And we have to change with Uranus in the 1 o'clock position. We have to change how we think and what this is our higher mind, change, open up. We have to upgrade our identity. We have to update our body and we let go of the old ways of being and seeing. So
yeah,
really,
I was just in a meeting, talking with a lot of people who are very actively doing things on bringing forth the new earth, and the thinking that's involved. And I said to them, without the divine feminine, there is no new earth. Because that is her presence and the honoring and the acknowledgement of the feminine as divine and the raising up of women. When what is happening in our world is our rights are being stripped away. We still don't have the Equal Rights Amendment ratified. It should have been ratified a long time ago. We've got all the states that have approved it that we need. So what's happening? Why is it not being ratified? And that would involve equal pay and equal rights. And of course, the number of CEOs who run corporations that don't want equal pay for women, and the Equal Rights Amendment would require equal pay for women. And it's like, if you're doing the same job, the same work, plus you're going home to take care of kids and a house, and that's just like other people, you need equal pay. And it's like like you were saying, this chart is reflecting the need for the change to upgrade, to elevate. And so that's why it's become really important for me that in January we take the time to honor the divine feminine. And is there anything else that's
really well, first of all, the feminine is elevated in this chart. We got in the 11 o'clock position, we have Black Moon Lilith. The next one is Pallas Athena. Then the moon. This is the highest, like Sedna is the high, feminine energy. And then Venus, look where Venus is at the 3 o'clock position. That is a powerful, powerful energy. So and then Juno, which is what are you committed to? And that is in the 2 o'clock position. And that has to do with, the 8th house, the transformation, and that symbol, like the key next to it is Chiron, which is healing. So we have to be committed to our own healing, committed to our purpose, and what's as we heal ourselves, we heal the earth. And there's a lot of healing in this, because in the 5 o'clock position, we have Mercury, and which is next to Hygienia at 17 Capricorn. And that is healing the thoughts, healing the mind. Stop, edit yourself, stop the negativity, focus on what you want to become, not what you want to overcome. And so this is, and then Saturn is there, which is that part you're talking about, Christy, right at the 3 o'clock position. In a way, it's at the end. And that is, there's a trine with Moon, which is ease and flow. So we're getting support in a lot of ways. And so, but it's again, Saturn binds, restricts, limits, controls, but also brings to form and manifest. So it's a power. They always say something that's really interesting. And I just want to say this time is very powerful for your own process. All the planets are forward moving. And that's important to do, that we can move forward now. We don't have to, we're still, chugga, in the shadow periods of Mercury retrograde and the retrograde of Mars, but we're forward moving. So this is an auspicious time, and we ask that you invite you and welcome you to join us in this movement of honoring your feminine within you. Trust your emotions, trust your feelings, love people, allow them, resist nothing. That's a goddess.
That's so great. Very, very well said. And so Karen, how does someone get a hold of you if they want to get a reading from you or get to see your work more?
Well, my name is Karen LaPuma, and you could go to KarenLaPuma.com. It's my website. It's also called soul-source.org. And
she's the author of many, many books, many wonderful books, including a new one on the tarot, which I find very, very powerful and very amazing.
It's called A Toolkit for Awakening, a series of books.
Yeah.
And I'm working on this. I'm working on embodied radiance, and that's the key. I feel like I have the secret of life.
You do.
I feel like I do.
And you're singing and dancing and having a great time.
And I'm living the dream. It's beautiful. So thank you.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for taking this moment to inspire people to understand why we do what we do. And it's like we jump on it when we hear the opportunity to do it. It's not something that's really mainstream, but we are the ones we are waiting for. And so we're not going to slow down. We're going to come. So come join us, come play.
Yeah, and tap into this enormous amount of light that's coming into the earth, even though the 3D level is crazy and there's enormous. So just keep focusing on bringing that light inside and being that light.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's not that difficult. It's just easy. Simple.
And practicing yourself being willing to honor and accept the divine, whether you're male or female, because men are involved as well. Karen's partner, Darren Starwood, will be involved with us on this beautiful event and talking about some of the healing things that we can do. So to step into this new earth and radiate, like you said, a presence that is so important. It's like life, they say it's heaven on earth, not heaven in the heavens. It's heaven. It's supposed to be heaven on earth. We're supposed to be having a good time. We're supposed to be loving one another. We're supposed to be doing all the beautiful, wonderful things. But really, it comes with the balance of the heart and mind and soul into the spirit and right alignment,
And bringing it into the body is really important.
Yeah.
Really bring it in to embody this radiance is the key.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was feeling it in my heart and like this, but I was blissing out. But then it's like, I need to, I'm bringing it into the lower chakras, and it's a really beautiful process.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Karen.
We're going to talk more about embodied radiance. So please join us.
Yes. And you can
January 31st.
Yes.
7 o'clock.
Tuesday the 31st. And You can go to gospelofmarymagdalene.info and all the information is there. So thank you so much.
Bless you.
Take care.